I love your show. I love your honesty. Glad to say I'm doing very, very well. Thanks to Phil. I now have become a consistent, profitable trader.
I've been with you for about a month and a half now, and I'm already up 7%.
I'm so grateful that I found you and with you and your staff.
This year I'm up 60% on my portfolio.
I'm on top of the world. I finally feel like I've got my master's degree in stock trading.
Well, I just want to tell you, thank you for giving my confidence back in trading.
I have learned more in this 2 months than I have in my years of doing all my different stuff, and I want to say thank you.
Been with you a long, long time. Done really well with you.
I think what you're doing is extremely important. Financial education is, in many respects, the most important education you can get, and that's what they're getting from your show.
For more information on the philsgang.com, simply go to philsgang.com or call 877-600-4264. 877-600-4264. Again, that's 877-600-4264.
What makes investors around the world successful? They're savvy, they do their homework, they look for the best value, and they find it at Interactive Brokers. Phil's Gang chooses Interactive Brokers, stocks, options, futures, forex, bonds, and worldwide from one account. I recommend Interactive Brokers to all my Phil's Gang members. I use it myself. Check them out. Go to philsgang.com and click on the Interactive Brokers graphic. And that's philsgang.com. Obama can't let the stock market go down. You lied about Benghazi. You lied about the AP. You lied about the IRS. You lied. Stop coming out here as a salesman. What's about is personal responsibility and education. Go to any supermarket, go to any store. My God, they got people that are 90 years old pushing out the carts. The last time I was in a supermarket, I took the old man, I put him in the cart. And I wheeled him to my car with the groceries. What have we gotten for stimulus? Trillions of dollars of stimulus. What have we gotten for? $3 trillion directly into the stock market. Lied to everybody, said we're doing that to create jobs. Pelosi tells you, go home. You're job locked. I don't blame him. He's taking a vacation, but stay home and rent some videos. So I care about your financial stability and making money in the stock market. For the best in business news, social, and financial talk, join me, Phil Grande, at Phil's Gang Show, weekdays at 3 p.m. Eastern. Listen live at philsgang.com.
Every single one of his medical bills, everything is just all taken care of.
We have phenomenal research, outstanding clinical care, and the generosity of public, which allow us to treat patients regardless of what it takes.
At St. Jude, families never receive a bill for treatment, travel, housing, or food, because the only thing a family should worry about is helping their child live.
Because of you.
Gracias a ti. Because of you.
There is St. Jude.
What if you could have an in-depth understanding of the stock market just like the pros? Well, thanks to Phil Grande and philsgang.com, you can. philsgang.com offers comprehensive, up-to-date market information designed to help you understand and anticipate market behavior. With philsgang.com, you'll build your investing confidence even through down cycles and periods of uncertainty. Go to philsgang.com. philsgang.com today. 877-600-GANG. 877-600-4264.
Hi, my name is Luann, and I'm from New York and a very appreciative gang member. Thank you again, Phil. I've been a Phil's gang member for 3 weeks now, and I've learned a lifetime of information, facts, clarity, confidence, and stock trading skills. Thanks again for all your teachings, Phil. Because of you, I'm applying myself and taking my future in my own hands.
To find out more information on Phil's Gang, just go to philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com, or give them a call at 877-600-GANG. 877-600-4264.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande of philsgang.com. You know, a lot of people are afraid of the stock market after losing most of their money in the different crashes, but now you don't have to be fearful because we have technology that will tell you when the markets are ready to collapse. That's right, the PT2. I designed it so that we get information in advance of any correction, the smallest correction to the largest correction. Get my PT2. Make sure this time when you are investing that you have safety on your side.
Find out more at philsgang.com or call 877-600-4264. Here at Phil's Gang, we understand the ghosts of 2008 and 2009 hang over all investors. In a recent banking analyst report, studies show the reason people are not investing in the stock market is a greater need for financial education. At Phil's Gang, we are your #1 provider of financial investing education techniques. For over a decade, Phil Grande has been coaching, guiding, and helping people build a successful trading plan for any time frame. from current income to retirement security.
I think what you're doing is extremely important. People don't realize this, but financial education is in many respects the most important education you can get, and that's what they're getting from your show.
Build your investment confidence with Phil's Gang today with daily webinars, alerts, and educational videos. And all material is archived for your convenience. Put the investment ghosts in the past and start investing with Phil Grande and Phil's Gang today. For more information, simply go to philsgang.com, philsgang.com, or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264.
Be sure to watch the Phil's Gang Show with Phil Grande, weekdays at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on various devices like smartphones, tablets, your computer, and more. Get free access to the Phil's Gang Show right in your hands at home or on the go. Simply go to philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com and click on the Listen Live link. And we'll see you on the charts.
The stocks discussed on Phil's Gang are not in any way a recommendation or solicitation to buy, sell, or hold. If considering acting on information presented, we first recommend you seek out a competent, licensed professional for advice. Get ready for the radio show that tells you what Wall Street doesn't want you to know.
Oh, I'm a money magnet. Money, money, money's coming to me. Money sets me free. I'm a money magnet. Money, 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 money's coming to me.
It's your daily dose of how to manage your money. And now it's time for Phil's Gang on the Off the Wall Street Radio Network. With your host, Phil Grande.
Well, you know, they give us the numbers, they fudge them, but the Wall Streeters still believe it. The other day when they gave us the GDP number, they said it was, 0.2 increase. But if you looked at the inventory increase, they use that as a positive. Oh, they're building up, people are going to buy. But sometimes the inventory builds up because nobody's buying. And if you remove that, which I think is artificial, you have a negative growth.
That's exactly right. He's right. It's Brown Paul. They always fudge the GDP number by an inventory build. Just like they fudge the unemployment number when it drops down to 5%. Should be 12%, but it's 5%. Because what do? They take the discouraged and they don't count them as unemployed. They should. They don't take the people on disability, the 12 million disability. They don't count them as unemployed. But we're going to take a look into that today. My name is Phil Grande. Welcome to Phil's Gang, coast to coast around the country, off the Wall Street Radio Network. And have a good afternoon, and we're going to have a good show today. By the way, I'm going to open up the phone lines today. So if you do want me to take a look at one of your stocks, I'd be more than happy to do it. And I will give you the number. So if you want to participate, and the number is 877-600. I'm sorry, 855. I'm sorry, I gave you the wrong number here. 855-745-7445. That's 855-745-7445. I'll give it to you one more time. 855-745-7445. Or if you want to comment on on some of the things I'm talking about, you're more than welcome to do that on Friday. We're going to open the lines on Fridays so you can participate, okay? But we will be happy to take a look at your stock as well if you want me to do that for you. All right, let's begin. We're talking about the GDP because, again, what is GDP? When you first hear that, most people don't even know what it means. It's the growth. They try to measure the growth of the economy. So they just add everything together, the consumption. And then they give us a number. They just add it all up, and there it is, what we're consuming. But it's a fake number, like he said. Because what they do is they will take the number and they will put in inventory. And the inventory hasn't been sold yet. So now the real GDP is negative. They've been telling us for the last 6 years that GDP has been at 2%. We've been averaging 2%. But if you take out the inventory build, it's negative. So we aren't growing at all. So they'll take, just think of it this way here. Let's say they'll take, and they go to, I don't know, let's say they take Walmart. And all the stuff that's in the back room on the shelves, they count as sold, even though it's not sold yet. And they even fudged a number. They make it higher than really what it is. So that's how they get the number up. So when you hear the economy is growing like this is unbelievable. Listen to this.
The economy is doing rather well in spite of the bad first quarter numbers.
Our economy is steadily growing.
The economy is coming back. It's growing.
I think that it is time to say that we've really turned the corner and we're now in an economy that's growing.
The economy is rising in real terms over the past year. That's a good thing, not a bad thing.
That's stupid. It's not true. It's fake. The wheels are coming off the economy. U.S. consumer bankruptcies today just experienced their largest quarterly increase in 3 years. Now, they're saying the economy is doing better. Well, let's go check out the Chicago Fed National Index. It's called the CFNAI. I talked about it yesterday. That measures the overall economic activity in the nation. Okay, that tells you what's going on in the economy, which in March fell to a 2-year low. So wait a minute, how can they be saying if it fell to a 2-year low, then how can they say the economy is doing rather well, our economy is steady, it's steadily growing, the economy is coming back, it's time to say we turned the corner, the economy is rising in real terms. But at the same time, today we find out that Procter & Gamble cutting another 6,000 jobs. We just found out today that factory orders in the United States have dropped again. And so how can factory orders fell again? Now, factory orders fell for the 6th straight month. Now, this would now be the 7th straight month in a row. At the same time, household spending has dropped to its lowest level. Matter of fact, in the morning, when the United States opens up for business, you know that it has very little cash. That Apple has more cash than the United States. When we open up in the morning, the Treasury opens up their doors. We don't have as much cash as Apple. So they're telling us the economy is growing. It's not true. What they do is here's what they know. They just want to take parking space in the heads of group thinkers. They know that people in the United States, the majority of them are group thinkers. Look at the people that are rioting out there. They're group thinkers. Now, the mom who went and picked up her kid, and beat the heck out of him and got him out of there, she wasn't a group thinker. How refreshing is that? But that kid what a dope. Just walking around, he covers his head with a nylon mask. He doesn't even know what's going on. He's just out there doing damage. He doesn't know what's going on. But he's a group thinker. How can they say the economy is doing good? How can they? When, as I say, in the morning, we open up, we turn the key, open our door to Treasury, and we have $71 billion in cash. Are you nuts? Americans' total debts are higher now at $58 trillion compared to when Obama came into office at $50 trillion. Let's take a look at corporate debt. It's exceeding $12 trillion. And why? Because of these stupid stock buybacks, which creates absolutely no value for the company. When you buy these stocks back and you get the fake earnings to go up, which push the stock up, there's no value for the company at all. None. So there's no future. The employees have no future. They're not going to see any raises in wages. Corporate cash holdings right now are the lowest in 15 years. Wages are stagnant. Earnings are increasing 6.2% faster than sales. Let me repeat this. If we're doing so good, then answer this. Earnings of corporations are 6.2 times faster, growing 6.2 times faster than sales, which are at 2.2%. So how can you have only sales growing 2.2%, but your earnings growing 6.2%, and your stock market is going up 200%? And yet, the economy is only growing 2%. So wait a minute. We have a stock market growing 200%. Think about this. But the economy is only growing 2%, which it really isn't. We really have a negative growth. But let's just say we will go by that number, 2%. So stock price is up 200%. Our economy is only growing 2%. Now you go look at the companies, see how well they're doing. Well, you look and say, well, how many sales do they have? Terrible. Their sales are only growing. Their sales are growing at a rate of 2.2%, but their earnings are growing at 6.2%. Well, how could you do that? That's impossible. Well, no, it isn't. You go and you're a company. You go into debt. You buy all this money from the bank at 0%. Now, here's why. And then you buy. And then what you do is you buy your own shares back. And that pushes the stock up. But here's the problem. Here's why the economy isn't growing. When I get back, I'm going to tell you exactly why it's not growing. Because of the Fed, they don't want it to grow. They just want their pockets to grow. Fatter and bigger. We'll talk about that when we get back. Join my gang, Phil's Gang.
Want more information on this show? Go to philsgang.com or give them a call at 877-600-GANG. With gas prices rising and the dollar heading back down, the financial networks are telling you to buy oil stocks on April 16th.
I mean, I think if you want to buy the oil equities, it's safe to buy them here without a doubt, is what I said.
It's safe to buy oil equities.
Yes, I think so. And I think it's safe to buy oil as well.
And they recommend a buy on the gold stocks.
I think the miners and the resource plays are exactly where you want to play. The sentiment is so bad, the underallocations are there, these things are working.
A little late, guys, because if you are a philsgang.com member, Phil Grande made these recommendations back on February 2nd.
In the next few months, you got to watch your oil stocks, your oil service stocks. Gold, you want to be in mining stocks. You want to be in GDX. Oil and gold, that's what's going to happen.
And this is just one example of the information you receive as a philsgang.com member. Use Phil's Talking Trader charts to gain profits well before your money manager or financial networks inform you. Learn, invest, make profits at philsgang.com, philsgang.com, or call 877-600-GANG, 877-600-4264, and we'll see you on the charts.
Hi, this is Phil Grande at philsgang.com. What makes investors around the world successful? They're savvy, they do their homework, they look for the best deal, and they find it at philsgang.com and Interactive Brokers.
Professional investors know that Interactive Brokers provides the edge they need in today's markets. Low commissions and financing rates, along with best price execution and a focus on advanced trading technology and low costs that help maximize returns. At Interactive Brokers, not only do professional investors get direct market access to stocks, options, futures, forex, bonds, and funds on over 100 markets in 23 countries from a single IB universal account, they also benefit from a wide array of advanced trading technology. Go to Interactive Brokers and improve your returns today.
philgang.com chooses interactivebroker.com. Check out Interactive Brokers for more information. And be sure to tell them Phil Grande sent you. That's interactivebroker's.com.
Every single one of his medical bills, everything is just all taken care of.
We have phenomenal research, outstanding clinical care, and the generosity of public, which allow us to treat patients regardless of what it takes.
At St. Jude, families never receive a bill for treatment, travel, housing, or food because the only thing a family should worry about is helping their child live.
Because of you.
Gracias a ti. Because of you.
There is St. Jude.
Obama can't let the stock market go down. You lied about Benghazi. You lied about the AP. You lied about the IRS. You lied. Stop coming out here as a salesman. What's about is personal responsibility and education. Go to any supermarket, go to any store. My God, they got people that are 90 years old pushing out the carts. The last time I was in a supermarket, I took the old man, I put him in the cart. And I wheeled him to my car with the groceries. What have we gotten for stimulus? Trillions of dollars of stimulus. What have we gotten for? $3 trillion directly into the stock market. Lied to everybody, said we're doing that's a great job. Pelosi tells you, go home. You're job locked. I don't blame him. He's taking a vacation, but stay home and rent some videos. So I care about your financial stability and making money in the stock market. For the best of business news, social, and financial talk, join me, Phil Grande at Phil's Gang Show, weekdays at 3 p.m. Eastern. Listen live at philsgang.com.
Be sure to watch the Phil's Gang Show with Phil Grande, weekdays at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on various devices like smartphones, tablets, your computer, and more. Get free access to the Phil's Gang Show right in your hands at home or on the go. Simply go to philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com and click on the Listen Live link. And we'll see you on the charts.
Move over. TD Ameritrade and Scottrade. There's a new leader in the pack of the finest trading platforms in the country. That's right, Phil's Easy Trade platform, designed by professional traders, and is why it's so easy to navigate, so easy to execute, and includes the most important and advanced features that give both professional and novice traders the edge they would expect. So simplistic, so stealth-like to assist you in building your profit center. For information on Phil's Easy Trade platform, go to philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG.
That's right, folks. philsgang.com now offers a stock trading and investing platform. This unique platform is fast and designed for performance with the integration with PTT1 and PTT2 stock charts. It will also be tailored to the way that Phil's Gang teaches you in class. For more information, simply go to philsgang.com or call 877-600-4264. 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-4264. Welcome back to the Phil's Gang Show. This segment is brought to you by Phil's Easy Trade platform.
It's going to be even worse than 08 and 09. You know, the crisis hit. The debt was the problem. The debt was bought by the taxpayer, and it was all transferred to the taxpayer through the Fed. The big guys were bailed out, and the amount of debt worldwide that has increased since the crisis of 09 is $35 trillion of more debt. So there was no correction whatsoever and no growth. Now the Keynesians are real pleased. Well, we saved your life. We saved Wall Street. Otherwise, the whole thing would have come down on us. But it comes down maybe a little slower and a little differently by propping it up with an illusion. So the system has been propped up, but it's all a fallacy. It's all a myth that there's wealth growth out there.
It's not growth. The only thing is growing is the stock market. That's it. And so, but you're not in it. 50% of the people who are in the market are no longer in the market. So what did they do? They run to bonds. Now what's happening? They're getting their face ripped off. Look what's going on. Look what's going on in the bond market. My God. The yields climbing. When the yields climb, those yields are interest rates. Yields, when you hear the term yields on a bond, it's interest rates. So interest rates are climbing. So what's happening is you got interest rates that are going up. So you got interest rates that were like 1.6% in January. Then it went to like 2.2, and then now it's like I think it was 2.6. As those rates go up, and if you're not buying those, if you don't have QE, where Bernanke or Yellen goes in and prints money and buys those treasuries to bring those yields down, the economy gets to go slower and slower, and that's why the stock market collapsed yesterday. That's why the market collapsed. There is no growth in this. They're making it all up. And here's what they're doing. You got two different interest rates you got to think about. You got, which most people don't understand, is the interest rate they call the Fed rate. The one is at 0%. It's not really 0%. It's 0.08. 0.8 of 1%. 8/100ths. So it's zero. So here's what's going on. Here's what they're doing. So they keeping that rate that low. But the problem is the Fed rate, what do? They loan banks money. They loan banks overnight. They give them money. But the problem is when they loan them the money, the Fed goes, whoa, wait a minute. Because remember, the Fed or the Fed rate controls how they want the economy to grow. They could grow right now 5 million full-time jobs if they wanted them, high-paying jobs, but they don't want that. So what they do is they decide, that's why you got to get rid of the Federal Reserve. Who the hell are they to decide if they want us to have jobs, don't want us to have jobs, want to have a good economy, bad economy? The only decisions they make is what's good for the 300 private people that own it. They own the Federal Reserve, the private company. So what they do is they say to the banks, okay, the bank says, I want to borrow money. So the Fed loans them money, but the Fed says to the bank, wait a minute, Mr. Banker, We want to make sure you have 10 million in reserve all the time. 10 million? Then I only can loan out about a third of what I was going to. That's right. Because they don't want the bank to loan to Main Street. So what the Fed has been doing is making sure that they keep raising the amount of money, it's called reserve, that they have to hold at their bank so they won't loan it out. They can't loan it out. That way the economy doesn't grow. Well, what are they doing with that money? Well, all the Fed is doing is giving money to the big banks on Wall Street. The Goldman Sachs, J.P. Morgan, Wells Fargo, Citi, Bank of America. So, and what are they doing with the money? They're taking it, giving it to hedge funds. They're taking it, giving it to speculators. But see, they're making sure no money goes into the economy. Remember when Bernanke was asked by Congress, who's doing better, Main Street or Wall Street? He goes, oh, Main Street. What a liar. Because the banks aren't giving Main Street money. They don't want Main Street to grow. All they want to grow is the stock market to grow. All the money goes to the stock market to make it grow. So that's why when I asked the question, how on earth could you have a company where sales are growing at 2.2%, but I'll call it earnings, but think of profits. If sales are only growing at 2.2%, how could your profits be growing at 6%? And yet, okay, where do you get the sales from? People. So that means GDP. The economy's got to grow, right? So that people got to have good jobs to go buy stuff. So the GDP is really less than 2%, but use 2%, and people don't have enough jobs, and there's not enough full-time jobs. But remember, he lies when he says, listen to what he says, Obama, about I never heard such a lie in my life, except for you can keep your insurance.
Almost all of the job growth that we've seen have been in full-time position.
That is a bold-faced lie. In 2014, 72% of the jobs, go look it up, were all part-time. And most every job today is part-time. They're not full-time. So that's telling you the economy is really bad. We can't even get we can't get full-time jobs. So the idea is, as long as the big guys, as long as the guys on the top are making money, they're going to keep on pushing the stock market up. All the money is going to go into the market to keep pushing this market up. In the meantime, Main Street is going to keep dying. So we're going to have an expanding stock market, and we're going to have a dying Main Street. And the markets, they're going to come in now, and they're going to do QE4. How do we know that? And you got to get ready for it. Don't miss it. You got to come back into the market. QE4. How do we know that? Take a look at the interest rates right now. You go look at the 10-year Treasury. The interest or yields are climbing every day, and that's why the stock market dropped. So they got to make sure the interest rates don't climb anymore. So what do? They print money, and then Treasury, the Federal Reserve will go in and buy all of the Treasuries to make sure all those rates that are going up drop back down to like 1%. So they're no more at 2.4%, 2.3%, and they're got to bring them back down. And when they do that, what happens? The stock market soars. So the economy's not going to soar. You're not going to get a full-time job. You're not going to get overtime, but you're going to make a fortune in the stock market. And that's what they set up for the oligarchs. We'll be right back.
Want more information on this show? Go to philsgang.com or give them a call at 877-600-GANG. With gas prices rising and the dollar heading back down, the financial networks are telling you to buy oil stocks on April 16th.
I mean, I think if you want to buy the oil equities, it's safe to buy them here without a doubt, is what I said.
It's safe to buy oil equities.
Yes, I think so. And I think it's safe to buy oil as well.
And they recommend a buy on the gold stocks.
I think the miners and the resource plays are exactly where you want to play. The sentiment is so bad, the underallocations are there, these things are working.
A little late, guys, because if you are a philsgang.com member, Phil Grande made these recommendations back on February 2nd.
In the next few months, you got to watch your oil stocks, your oil service stocks. Gold, you want to be in mining stocks. You want to be in GDX. Oil and gold, that's what's going to happen.
And this is just one example of the information you receive as a philsgang.com member. Use Phil's Talking Trader charts to gain profits well before your money manager or financial networks inform you. Learn, invest, make profits at philsgang.com, philsgang.com, or call 877-600-GANG, 877-600-4264, and we'll see you on the charts. What if you could have an in-depth understanding of the stock market just like the pros? Well, thanks to Phil Grande and philsgang.com, you can. philsgang.com offers comprehensive, up-to-date market information designed to help you understand and anticipate market behavior. With philsgang.com, you'll build your investing confidence even through down cycles and periods of uncertainty. Go to philsgang.com. philsgang.com today. 877-600-GANG. 877-600-4264.
Hi, my name is Luann, and I'm from New York and a very appreciative gang member. Thank you, thank you, thank you again, Phil. I've been a Phil's gang member for 3 weeks now, and I've learned a lifetime of information, facts, clarity, confidence, and stock trading skills. Thanks again for all your teachings, Phil. Because of you, I'm applying myself and taking my future in my own hands.
To find out more information on Phil's Gang, just go to philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com, or give them a call at 877-600-GANG. 877-600-4264.
I love your show. I love your honesty. Glad to say I'm doing very, very well. Thanks to Phil. I now have become a consistent, profitable trader.
I've been with you for about a month and a half now, and I'm already up 7%.
I'm so grateful that I found you and with you and your staff.
This year, I'm up 60% on my portfolio.
I'm on top of the world. I finally feel like I've got my master's degree in stock trading.
Well, I just want to tell you, thank you for giving my confidence back in trading.
I have learned more in this 2 months than I've had in my years of doing all my different stuff, and I want to say thank you.
Been with you a long, long time. Done really well with you.
I think what you're doing is extremely important. Financial education is, in many respects, the most important education you can get, and that's what they're getting from your show.
For more information on the philsgang.com, simply go to philsgang.com or call 877-600-4264. 877-600-4264. Again, that's 877-600-4264.
Be sure to watch the Phil's Gang Show with Phil Grande, weekdays at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on various devices like smartphones, tablets, your computer, and more. Get free access to the Phil's Gang Show right in your hands at home or on the go. Simply go to philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com and click on the Listen Live link. And we'll see you on the charts.
What if you could have an in-depth understanding of the stock market just like the pros? Well, thanks to Phil Grande and philsgang.com, you can. philsgang.com offers comprehensive, up-to-date market information designed to help you understand and anticipate market behavior. With philsgang.com, you'll build your investing confidence even through down cycles and periods of uncertainty. Go to philsgang.com. philsgang.com today. 877-600-GANG. 877-600-4264.
Hi, my name is Luann, and I'm from New York and a very appreciative gang member. Thank you, thank you, thank you again, Phil. I've been a Phil's gang member for 3 weeks now, and I've learned a lifetime of information, facts, clarity, confidence, and stock trading skills. Thanks again for all your teachings, Phil. Because of you, I'm applying myself and taking my future in my own hands.
To find out more information on Phil's Gang, just go to philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com, or give them a call at 877-600-GANG. 877-600-4264.
Every single one of his medical bills, everything is just all taken care of.
We have phenomenal research, outstanding clinical care, and the generosity of public, which allow us to treat patients regardless of what it takes.
At St. Jude, families never receive a bill for treatment, travel, housing, or food because the only thing a family should worry about is helping their child live.
Because of you. Gracias a ti. Because of you.
There is St.
Welcome back to the Phil's Gang Show. This segment is brought to you by philsgang.com.
And welcome back to Phil's Gang. Okay. So, you got to retire. 78% of baby boomers who are entering retirement within the next 3 to 5 years, right now, at this time of their lives, should have no mortgage, no car payment, or credit card. You want to know what the truth is? Instead, 59% of the baby boomers have a mortgage. 59% have credit card debt. 56% have car payments. 57% have student loans. Going into retirement, you got a student loan. Now, the poverty is really getting bad in this country. It's going to make the stock market go up, though. Remember, Everything bad makes the stock market go up. We have 109 people on welfare. 109 million people on welfare. Now, that 109 people on welfare exceeds the 60 million full-time workers. And we have so many people right now in poverty. And this is why Obama says this. This is why he lies about this.
Almost all of the job growth that we've seen have been in full-time positions.
And it's not. He's lying. And why does he have to lie? Because here's what he knows and he doesn't want you to know. That when you have all these part-time jobs, many more people, especially the middle class, they start shifting into poverty. Part-time jobs will shift you into poverty this fast. People that are, if you have those jobs will kill you. So he doesn't want you to know that there's so many part-time jobs. We have 28 million part-time jobs. That is a joke. So those people will go from part-time into poverty, and our low-income people under Obama, or poverty has under Obama, has increased 48% from the day he took office in June of 2009. We had 10 million more people slip into poverty under him. There are now 50 million in poverty. That's up from 38 million. 38 million. And the reason for this increase in poverty is directly related to what? To his policy of anti-growth. Now, what do you mean anti-growth? It means that the banks, the Fed rate, the Federal Reserve, we got to get rid of them. The Federal Reserve will only give to the banks, will not give to the banks much money. And when they do give them money, they don't allow them to lend it. They don't want it to go to Main Street. Instead, the money goes to the hedge funds. The money goes to any of these big speculators. So the stock market will go up. This is crazy. And don't think Bush was any better. Poverty under Bush also soared. So anytime that you look at the 10-year Treasury and you see those interest rates rising, you know the economy is getting worse, and you know the stock market's going to go up. That's all you got to remember. Because remember, when interest rates go up on the Treasury, the yield goes up on the Treasury, it means businesses don't borrow. They don't borrow money. That means they're not going to go out and spend. They're not going to go spend on machinery. They're not going to go spend and create jobs. So they're not going to stimulate the economy. Mortgage rates go up. Mortgage rates go up. That means fewer people buy homes. But most of all, the low-cost government borrowing, remember, the government borrows, and they borrow money. It's that interest rate you see on the 10-year Treasury. So here on one side, the economy's getting worse and worse and worse, and you can see that in the 10-year Treasury as the yields keep going up. Then you go look at the Fed rate, the rate at which they loan banks overnight, the Federal Reserve. They're not loaning to banks overnight. They're making the banks hold more and more reserves so they can't put the money out to Main Street. So we're getting no growth. So you say, well, Phil, how's that benefit? Oh, are you kidding? The 10 percentile is making a fortune. Well, everybody else is suffering. So take the stock market. Just take what we did. You go and take a look, and I'm just doing our own stocks. Microsoft. And remember, I begged you to join the gang and get into Microsoft. I said, please join. I said, it's $49.95. Just join. Go take a look at it right now. You'll see it. It went from red to green. Microsoft went up 19%. 19%. How many times did I tell you to buy Caterpillar? I said, join the gang, $49.95. I said, just do this one with me. Look at this on the chart. Went from red to green, Caterpillar, 8%. Then I said, let's buy the oil stocks, Schlumberger. I told you to buy the oil service stocks 2 months before they told you on CNBC. Schlumberger, look at this. All you had to know, it turned from red to green. When it turned green, we bought it as long as we had the crossover. And guess what? Still going up. and Schlumberger right now has a 20% gain. OIH, same thing. Another oil service, that's the exchange traded funds, you can buy a whole basket of, up 20%. Now cut that in half. So you only got 10%. Or cut it in half again. You got a 5% return. That's a lot better than what you're getting right now on your CD rates, right? And remember what they're doing. Every time they loan money at 0%, remember the Fed rate, the Federal Reserve, are stealing money from our savers. $650 million a year. Because they dropped the rate from 4% that you usually get on your CD down to nothing. They're stealing $650 million a year from the savers. Stealing right out of our pocket. Now those people who are in bonds, they're seeing the yield go up. They're losing now. They're getting their face ripped off. The only place you can turn to, because this economy, they're not going to expand it. In the next 2 years, they're not going to expand this economy. They don't want to expand this economy. For God's sakes, if they're going to expand the economy, they've done it by now. But they keep telling us. See, here's what they know they can get away with. Just like with the Obamacare. They can tell us the Obamacare that we're going to save $2,500 a month in premiums, and everybody bought into it. The group thinkers bought into it. They believed it, and he got away with it. He got away with it. And now your premiums are doubled. Now he's doing the same thing. He's, I'm creating all these full-time jobs. And he gets his boys out there. The economy is really good. Really good. But now you get people, though, some people who are out of circle start telling the truth.
I think the thing we all agree on is that this recovery is extraordinarily disappointing.
It's disappointing. Why? Because the Federal Reserve, Aunt B, Bernanke, would not let the banks loan. They don't want them loaning because they don't want to create jobs. Because what does Obama want? All Obama wants is a welfare empire. But we got to pay our bills. So how does he pay the bills? Make sure the stock market keeps going up and the 10th percentile get richer and richer and richer, and he keeps taxing them, and that goes into the coffers of the Treasury. That's a lot easier than try to create full-time jobs, high-paying full-time jobs. So as long as he keeps the banks cut off, which he will, and as long as the 10-year Treasury rate, and remember what the Treasury rate does. That 10-year Treasury, that's tied to your house. It's tied to the rate that businesses borrow to buy a piece of machinery. I mean, it's tied to you go out and you want to buy a snowmobile and buy it on terms. I mean, it's tied to all our purchases. And it's also, and think for example, like a house. If you have a 38 fixed year rate and it's at 3.6%, and you have a $300,000 mortgage with a 3.6%, your payment is like $1,374. If that rate moves up, from 3.6 to 8%, which was a normal rate, by the way, in 2001, that was always normal, 6 to 8%, your payment would go from $1,374 to $2,201. So see, they're trying to keep these rates down. Now you would think, for God's sakes, everybody be buying a house. But no, why aren't they buying houses? Because they don't have a job. They don't have a full-time job. They don't have a high-paying job. So the only place you can go to make money to retire is the stock market, because it's financially engineered to go up. And we're going to have another QE, and don't miss it. Join my gang right now, Phil's gang.
Want more information on this show? Go to philsgang.com or give them a call at 877-600-GANG. With gas prices rising and the dollar heading back down, the financial networks are telling you to buy oil stocks on April 16th.
I mean, I think if you want to buy the oil equities, it's safe to buy them here without a doubt, is what I said.
It's safe to buy oil equities.
Yes, I think so. And I think it's safe to buy oil as well.
And they recommend a buy on the gold stocks.
I think the miners and the resource plays are exactly where you want to play. The sentiment is so bad, the underallocations are there, these things are working.
A little late, guys, because if you were a philsgang.com member, Phil Grande made these recommendations back on February 2nd.
In the next few months, you got to watch your oil stocks, your oil service stocks. Gold, you want to be in mining stocks. You want to be in GDX, oil and gold. That's what's going to happen.
And this is just one example of the information you receive as a philsgang.com member. Use Phil's Talking Trader charts to gain profits well before your money manager or financial networks inform you. Learn, invest, make profits at philsgang.com, philsgang.com, or call 877-600-GANG, 877-600-4264, and we'll see you on the charts.
What makes investors around the world successful? They're savvy, they do their homework, they look for the best value, and they find it at Interactive Brokers. Phil's Gang chooses Interactive Brokers, stocks, options, futures, forex, bonds, and worldwide from one account. I recommend Interactive Brokers to all my Phil's Gang members. I use it myself. Check them out. Go to philsgang.com and click on the Interactive Brokers graphic. And that's philsgang.com. Hi, I'm Phil Grande at philsgang.com. Boy, the news has not been good lately. You know that 62% of Americans are living paycheck to paycheck. 24% of Americans have more credit card debt than emergency savings. Or how about this one? Adults under the age of 35 currently have savings rates of negative 2%. Wow. We need to set up a game plan. We need to get you back into the financial markets in a very positive way. And we can do that. Just join philsgang.com. We're here to help you. It's only $49.95 a month. That's it. You're going to be investing in yourself. That's what you need. And you got all the Phil's Gang material archived. You got classrooms. You got support. There's nothing like it. So as this market continues to go higher, not because things are good, not because the economy is doing well, because of all this stimulus, you're missing one of the best opportunities to put retirement money away now. Sock it away now, but you got to learn how to do it. Check us out. That's philsgang.com, or give us a call, 877-600-4264. Hi, I'm Phil Grande of philsgang.com. You know, a lot of people are afraid of the stock market after losing most of their money in the different crashes, but now you don't have to be fearful because we have technology that will tell you when the markets are ready to collapse. That's right, the PT2. I designed it so that we get information in advance of any correction, the smallest correction to the largest correction. Get my PT2. Make sure this time when you are investing that you have safety on your side.
Find out more at philsgang.com or call 877-600-4264.
Obama can't let the stock market go down. You lied about Benghazi. You lied about the AP. You lied about the IRS. You lied. Stop coming out here as a salesman. What it's about is personal responsibility and education. Go to any supermarket, go to any store. My God, they got people that are 90 years old pushing out the carts. The last time I was in a supermarket, I took the old man, I put him in the cart. And I wheeled him to my car with the groceries. What have we gotten for stimulus? Trillions of dollars of stimulus. What have we gotten for? $3 trillion directly into the stock market. Lied to everybody, said we're doing that's a great job. Pelosi tells you, go home. You're job locked. I don't blame him. He's taking a vacation, but stay home and rent some videos. So I care about your financial stability and making money in the stock market. For the rest of business news, social, and financial talk, join me, Phil Grande at Phil's Gang Show, weekdays at 3 p.m. Eastern. Listen live at philsgang.com.
Welcome back to the Phil's Gang Show. This segment is brought to you by the Phil's Gang video channel on youtube.com.
And welcome back to Phil's Gang. You know, you've got plenty of time to join the gang and follow me with silver. That's right, silver. Okay, this symbol is PASS, P-A-S-S. Now remember, I told you, P-A-A-S. Remember, I told you that when copper was just where silver is right now, silver it's just turning, giving us a buy signal right now at around $9. So join the gang, and then just follow me on this. Just check in 10 minutes during the day and see what it's doing. And all you have to do is follow me with my chart. That's all. It doesn't take any time at all. You just buy 25 shares, see if it works for you. $49.95 to be a member. Now, if you followed me on FCX, the copper, okay, when we had the copper, our copper has gone up, and I'll give you the number right now, so it's current today, $19 to $24. Now, It's a 26% return. So let's cut it in half, and let's cut it in half again. Now, let me tell you why I keep doing that, why we keep cutting in half and cutting in half. Because you know what you get at the bank for a 4-year CD? 1.7%. You know what you get at the bank 1 year? 1.3% on a CD. Are you nuts? When you can sit here, and if you bought copper, and when it turned green, and then I okay it when we have the crossover tells us there's enough big guys going in and buying it, and then it turned green. So you would have gotten in about, let's say, about 2 weeks, you would have got a return on, well, let's do it this way. On copper, you would have got a return of about, what did we say it was about 26%. But let's not do 26%. Let's cut it in half. Okay, let's cut it in half. Let's say you got 5%. 5% compared to your 1.3% a year, you got 5% that month. Now, let's say you do that every month. One stock, 5% every month using this chart with me. You know what that return is at the end of the year? Over 70%. Now, nobody's going to make 70%. But the point I'm making is, why in the hell aren't you doing it? And I know why. Because more and more people don't have money to come into the market. And the people that are in the market are getting screwed by your brokers because they're getting all the money. They're stealing from you. And it's sad. Now, here's something that was funny yesterday. You know how these politicians, when you ask them a question, they'll talk for 20 minutes on one answer because they don't want to take the next, unless they got somebody plugged in the audience with another question, they'll filibuster. Here was a little kid. Obama was at some grade school. Listen to this. And the kid shut him off.
Even the best writers, usually it's not that good the first time they write it.
Yeah, and I think you sort of covered everything about that question.
Okay, you think I've just kind of... Usman thinks I've been talking too long.
No, I think you just...
No, well, let's move it along. I got you.
So,
I cut him off. I loved it. That was beautiful. Oh, boy, Al Sharpton showed up out there in Baltimore. Isn't that great?
Why can't we ask questions? That they say. We can't ask questions? You can't. A public official? We can't ask questions.
Yes, you will have an opportunity to ask.
I can ask questions? And will you answer them?
I'm not going to play. You know why I'm not playing this Baltimore stuff? I'm so sick of it. I mean, I can't stand it. Is this going to help you when you retire? Of course not. Here's all I want you to know. I know. Think about it. You really believe when you give money to some money manager that you think you got to give it to him because he knows something you don't know. Because he knows these stupid things like what's a forward PE, what's a trailing PE, what's the price to sales, what's the price to book, profit margins, operating margins. Let's check out how well, let's check and see how well management is doing. What are they getting for return on their assets? What are they getting for return on their equity? And you think you better give them your money because they know all this. Are you kidding? With today's technology, if I'm going to buy GE, I'm going to put GE up right now. I don't have to know any of that. All I had to know was GE, it was red at $24. It turned green at $25. And it went up to 29. 25 to 29. A 16% return. Cut it in half. Did I have to know what the PE ratio was on GE or the return on assets? Do I have to watch the dopes on CNBC? What's the operating cash flow? What's the free cash flow? What's the profit, the book value per share? I don't need to know that. So there's some wonderful stocks. There's some wonderful stocks you're missing out on. Now, I know some people that say, I just don't have the money. You know what? You can find the money. You don't have to come up with a lot of money. You don't, to buy a stock. But you got to start somewhere. I just don't know what you're going to do. There's nothing worse than facing retirement with no money. What a horrible feeling that is. You know, and I love when Obama keeps telling us how things are better off now. And then his cronies come out like earlier today and saying our economy is steadily growing, the economy is coming back, and the economy is rising in real terms and all this crap. And then Obama comes out and he says things are much better now with my policies. Really? When one of the biggest problems in 2008, let's see what's changed. What's changed since 2009? The biggest problem in 2008 that contributed to the financial mess was too big to fail. The banks, they were too big to fail. So what has changed between 2009 and now that he claims is so good? The banks are even bigger. So wait a minute. The banks that blew up, that took this economy down, that took $12 trillion, wiped $12 trillion out of your houses and your household, $12 trillion you lost, was because the banks were too big back then. Now they're even bigger. So everything that was wrong in 2008 is wrong today. You get it? So the last time in 2008 when the crisis started, the Fed balance sheet was $800 billion. You know what it is today? $3 trillion. You say, what difference does that make, Phil? What difference does that make? When it blew up, the banks blew up in 2008, they only had on their balance sheet $800 billion. So they could go in and buy their assets, buy their mortgages, buy everything from them so they could survive. Do you know if the crisis happens today, instead of the market going down 20%, we'll go down 40%. Why? Because today they can't buy those assets. Why? Because they owe $3.3 trillion on their balance sheet. Now, do you really believe that this idiot, Aunt B, is going to raise rates when they have $3.3 trillion in assets on their balance sheet, and every time you raise rates, they're losing money, the Federal Reserve? You think they're going to raise rates? Of course not. Of course not. So when the rates started to go at the 10-year level, started to go up this week, and the market started to drop, what do you think they're going to do if the rates keep going up? That's right. They're going to create QE again, print money, come in and buy those 10-year treasuries, and now the Federal Reserve buy all the 10-year treasuries again, and that means that the Saudis and China and all these people who buy our treasuries, they love buying our debt. They love nothing better than, China loves nothing better than printing up their yuan and exchanging it for dollars and then give it to our treasury, and they get 2.5%, 2.4%. They love that. But you know what? They're going to stop them again with this QE. They go in, print the money, and then when China comes over, they go, wait, where'd all the treasuries go? I mean, the rate went from 2.6 down to 1.6? Oh, that's not attractive. I'm going to go to the stock market. So you're going to have a huge boom again. But first, the crash that's going to happen is going to be much more severe than the last one. Why? Because they got $3.3 trillion on their balance sheet, so they can't go to the banks and say, I'll save you. Because the banks are even bigger. They can't, in other words, they got to get rid of that $3.3 trillion so that the banks go down, they got room to buy their assets. But they can't get rid of the $3.3 trillion. Because they start getting rid of the $3.3 trillion, guess what will happen? The rates will even go up higher. So I'm telling you right now, the best thing to do is just focus on this market. Do one stock at a time with me. Join my gang over the weekend, philsgang.com. And if you do well, send a check to St. Jude. That's all we need. All right, have a great weekend. We'll see you on the chart. Join my gang, philsgang.com.
You have been listening to Phil's Gang with your host, Phil Grande, on the Off the Wall Street Radio Network. Off the Wall Street Radio Network. Remember to visit Phil's website at philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com. Or call the office, 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-4264.